I'm so glad to be back because just like you, I was also sick during the holidays. Yeah, it lasted about 2 weeks. And while I was isolated that whole time, all I did was look up new knives online and play Minecraft. I mean, that's it. I totally forgot how easy it is to spend money when you're bored because, oh man, did I order a bunch of knives. So today I kind of thought, why not just show you my top 10 knives that I bought while I was sick with COVID. As usual, links to buy, prices, and even the coupon codes will all be listed for you down in the description. Oh, and by the way, if this is your first time here, I'm Jay. Thanks so much for stopping by. Go ahead and subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. All right, let's get things started with number 10. I got from Kaisa Vanguard in denim micarta. This is the Feist. You know, I really like the blade shape on this little guy. It's made out of 154 cm steel, and it's under 3 inches at about 2.8. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but I really like this crowned spine. It's rounded. It's just such a nice touch. I don't know. I just think it makes a knife look a little more expensive. And of course, you know, since this is a front flipper, there's going to be nothing to sort of get in the way, you know, when you're cutting on a flat surface like a countertop or something. And you can see I can fit, oh yeah, no problem. I can fit all 4 of my fingers on this surprisingly kind of soft and fuzzy feeling micarta handle. The action, oh yeah, in both directions. It's just excellent. And I was not expecting, look at that. I was not expecting that little blade to drop shut as well as it does. And you know what, at this price point, I don't think a 2-position pocket clip, that's not asking too much, is it? But, you know, at least they went ahead and recessed like the attachment point where it screws into the scale. So, well, that's something. And you know what? These next 2 knives are also going to be Kaisers. This is a Mojave Outdoor exclusive. It's the Latvin Mini. Now, they call this the Iron Man version because of the color combinations that are kind of going on here. It has a deep red aluminum scales, and then it's got you can see it's kind of got, it's a blue pivot. And then this, check this out. Yeah, those are golds, like gold-colored nested liners. Oh, and yeah, backspacer and the screws. The body screws are the same color. I don't know. I think that really makes this look pretty cool. Check this out. We get a good-looking 3-inch N690 spear point blade that has the very same crown spine and great blade-to-handle ratio as the Feist. If you're someone like me, you know, that sometimes has trouble opening front flippers consistently, you know, this knife is going to be perfect for you because, yeah, check that out. It also has a nice back flipper. Maybe it's just me, but when I first saw this, I thought that the handle traction would just be terrible because these aluminum scales, I mean, come on, they look pretty smooth. But you know what? After handling this knife and carrying it, that is so not the case. It's got the matte finish. That's some good traction. Number 8 is going to be another Mojave Outdoor exclusive. This is the Mini Sheepdog. Other than the handle material and, well, the colors, you know, there's not a lot going on here that you haven't seen before, because we get it's a black coated 2.6 inch 154 cm blade, nested liners, aluminum scales. But I got to tell you though, I really like the colors that they use. This maroon and against the black, I just think it complements each other so nicely. Now, this could be just my example, but the detent is noticeably strong. I mean, you can even hear it sort of in the click. And that makes this knife impossible to fail. Coming in at number 7, I got from Petrified Fish. This is the PF 868 Boonta. According to Wiktionary, I guess a Boonta is another word for like a wound or a sore, you know, like a scab. Now we get a 3.42 inch sheep's foot in D2 steel, which actually, look close at this blade and tell me what you think, because it kind of reminds me of the blade on the steel wheel Modus. If fidget factor, you know, if that's important to you, you can see it's got the multiple deployment options. So you can either use that flipper tab or the thumb hole, and the action was great. I mean, right out of the box, this blade, oh yeah, that was dropping right shut. Now here's a really nice little attention to detail. You can see it has like these access ramps, and they do appear on both sides of the G10. So what that does is it helps to make that thumb hole just like super easy to get at, you know, regardless if you're right or left-handed. You know, at first I was super impressed with this deep carry pocket clip, but if you take a look, yeah, from this view, you can see it is just going to be for the one position, so no lefty love today. Coming in at number 6, I got the Kubi Momentum KU 334. Now, this is a knife that I actually already went ahead and reviewed. So if you're interested in seeing that video, go ahead and just tap on the card that's up in the corner. It's a very unique knife that has both a front flipper and thumb stud opening. Now, we get a 3.43-inch D2 harpoon-style blade with a that is a bead blast finish. Now, unlike most front flippers, well, like the Kaisers that I showed you earlier, this has more of like a, I don't know, like an overbuilt, harder use sort of feel to it, which actually I really like. Now, this is going to be the first knife so far on the list that actually does have a 2-position pocket clip. You know, now that I think about it, Kubi, they usually are pretty good about showing us lefties some love. All right, sitting at number 5, I got from Harns. This is the Talisman. You know, anytime that I think or talk about like the Harns brand, you know, this is the model that immediately comes to mind. So when I found out that it got an upgrade, was I excited. Now, the previous version, I don't know if you remember, but it had AUS 8 blade steel, which, you know, that's fine for a budget knife. But the 14C28N Sandvik, oh yeah, now that's a nice little boost. Just like the original, we get a 3.54-inch full flat ground blade with a very generously sized handle. I mean, it's not going to have the best, you know, blade to handle ratio, but hey, at least there's going to be plenty of room for those of you with them larger bear paws. Now, it's just, you know, pretty much a standard drop point blade shape that is riding, oh yeah, on a ball bearing pivot with some really nice, as you saw it, drop shut action. Coming in at number 4, I got from Max Ace. This is the Balance 2021. Now, this is going to be available in either a blue or, of course, the gray titanium scales from White Mountain Knives, which that's good for you because you can go ahead and use my coupon code, which is Lefty Love, and what that'll do is save you 10% off your order. Now, you can probably already tell, yeah, this is a big boy, and it has just that is such a good looking 3.75-inch drop point blade that's going to be an M390 with some nicely textured titanium scales. It does have a forward finger choil, but you know, I gotta warn you, yeah, that is going to be a really tight fit. Now, even though I can pretty much, you know, fail that deployment whenever I want to, I think that the action is still, I think it's pretty good in both directions. I mean, it does, well, yeah, you know, with a big blade like that, of course it's going to drop shut. Now, I do appreciate it has a really like low profile pocket clip, which I do appreciate, but if you take a closer look here, yeah, there just simply isn't enough room underneath it for like a thicker pocket material. I mean, you're going to have to be wearing practically like silk pants or something to be able to carry this. How about number 3? I got from Ganzo Firebird. This is the FH11S. Usually when a knife is like available in like a large and a small size, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to prefer the larger one, but this is like one of those really rare times where I'm going to go with the small, because I've been carrying the heck out of this thing, and not once have I thought, man, I wish I had that 3.5-inch blade in my pocket. This 3-inch version, it's been able to do absolutely everything that I've needed it to, while on top of that, even taking up a little bit less room in the pocket. Number 2, I got a Knives Plus exclusive. This is the QSP Penguin in M390. Now, speaking of upgrades, this knife, it started, if you remember, with the D2 blade. And then it went up to S35VN. This was also a Knives Plus exclusive. Now, you know, in its current form, oh yeah, we got M390, but I mean, where do you go from here? How do you top that? Make a blade out of a meteorite? It is available in a few different versions, but I went with this one, well, for a few reasons. It's got micarta, which I like. It's a liner lock, which is usually going to be best for lefties, especially when you've just only got a thumb stud deployment. And on top of that, it's the cheapest version at, I don't know, like around $70. While all of the titanium frame locks, those are going to cost you about $50 more. And in case you're wondering, yes, the blade is still riding on bronze washers, which actually they do break in nicely. You just have to be, you just got to be patient and carry it a lot and annoy everyone around you by constantly opening and closing it. There is one minor thing with my example here, and maybe it is just with mine, but the detent it's a little bit on the weak side. Yeah, it's really easy for me to go ahead and fail it, but that blade, I just noticed, you know, it doesn't really want to jump out unless, well, you got to give it a good flick. All right, ready to see it? Now, this is not a new release. It's actually been out for a few years now, but ever since I saw it, I knew I had to have one. So at number 1, I've got the G10 version of the Quiet Carry Drift. Now, for those of you that don't know, the deal with these knives is, well, the big deal is going to be this 2.98-inch blade that is like 2.2 millimeters thick, and the steel, yeah, that is Van-X super clean. It is completely rust-proof. I mean, more so than like Spyderco's H1 or LC200N, which coincidentally happens to be the material that the liners are made out of. Now, I would love to know if you could sound off in the comments, like, what are some of the most recent knives that you had bought? Or, oh, better yet, what new knives did you get for Christmas? Right about now, there's a video up on the screen that I personally picked out for you to go ahead and watch next. And hey, if you haven't already, consider subscribing. All right, I got to run, but thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. I'll see you at the next video. Take care.